Hey YouTube, what's dumber than having a 10 Pokemon meta for 2 weeks straight, making 6 videos on it? So here's another Psycho Cup team. Slight variations to my team yesterday. So like I said, I went up to 2661, which would be leaderboard already, because the bottom of the leaderboard is like 2607. So like I would have been pretty high on the leaderboard. But then I chalk it up to making the video and seeing more counters to it, and just sort of like variation in this meta, right? When you run a team, and I had a insane success with that team, but then when there's only 10 Pokemon, you will start to lose some, and that's just sort of variation with this meta. So I lost a bit, dropped down, and then I used this team. So I'm close to leaderboard. I may just be like right on the edge. I'm like just above 2600 now, so I'm probably just on the edge of leaderboard as we head into today, this afternoon here with this team. It's again a slight variation. Slowking, Malamar. My team yesterday had Victini as a nuke. I used Rapidash with high horsepower because I actually did start seeing a lot more Claydol's, and that was one of the reasons that I started dropping, because you can deal with Claydol with Slowking, but it does add up, and it still takes 2 foul plays from Malamar, and those mud slaps do slap. So that's why I switched it up. I will also have timestamps below. I know a lot of people like that. They've even asked on other videos, like, how do you deal with this lead? How do you deal with this lead? And I know that timestamps with different leads helps people understand it, and it makes much more sense in this limited meta, so that's fine. Because I baited and I won CMP, they now catch on a Malamar. I love when they actually catch here, because it makes this much easier for me, because I can CMP right now if I wanted to and take this out. I don't mind letting this go, because one foul play is not going to take me out. I just like actually getting a ton of energy. Now I'll be able to get up to all CMP, or just go right before the next one. I could have CMP'd, but I'll just go right before the next one, force them to decide what they want to do here. If they let it go, we're still even shields, but now I'm at a high horsepower. And I was running Mega Horn before. High horsepower is just, for that Slowking coverage, is significantly better. Like it's a huge improvement. So I'm now up a shield. Malamar will very easily deal with this. So I'm up a shield. They try and catch. They catch on a Slowbro, but this is a poison Slowbro, so I'm just going to bank a move on my Malamar. Maybe a Surf Tank's out here, maybe not. I'll maybe be left with like one. Oh, Psychic will take out. Yeah, I saw a couple Slowbros starting to run Galarians, starting to run Psychic. Maybe that's always the second move. I saw a lot of Galarians with Psychic as their second move, but all in all, it does not matter when I got a shield advantage and a super effective move that'll one-shot Slowking here. So Slowking versus Victini. This is a decent match. So the problem is, so hexes that up quick. One Shadow Ball will take them out from this range, and they often don't throw their V create until they get to like 2, right? Because they don't want to lower their defense. You can live 1 and they overheat, so that's okay. We CMP. You can like throw the Shadow Ball before, because it'll force them to shield, and you can live 1 there. So I end up shielding an overheat, and I got to move here. You have basically a mirror match and a decent matchup here. It's not amazing actually, but it's a pretty good matchup with Rapidash here. So just getting in there to do that Fairy Wind damage is actually huge, because again, having played this legal freaking week with like 10 Pokemon, you know what? I'm actually not writing Superpower Malamar. I switched this to a Hyper Beam, and I was just going to talk about that right now, because so one Hyper Beam does not take out. It does like 90-ish%. The problem is you are not going to be able to farm down with a resisted Psycho Cut. So unless they're down like 10%, there's no point in doing it. One foul play seems to do like, I'm going to make up these numbers, but one foul play probably does like 47% or something like that, right? To Malamar. So in the mirror match, so if you just get into a normal Malamar match, because the Psycho Cuts are doing like 0%, you still need 3 foul plays. But if you actually get like 2 or 3 Fairy Winds off on Malamar, super effective Fairy Winds, that actually puts it low enough that it will now just be in 2 foul play range. So getting in that Rapidash matchup just to do a couple Fairy Winds actually makes it a significantly better mirror match when you're a Malamar versus Malamar, because now it generally takes 2 foul plays. Well, they will need 3 on you, or 1 Hyper Beam and a foul play. This is a water gun Slowbro, which makes it not. It's still a good matchup because you're doing super effective. They end up and you would outpace and they catch, and again that's fine. We've seen this before. This does about 49% basically. Get in here. Again, I don't know if a CMP actually takes this out, like, cause I think it'll live with like 1 or 2 HP. So there's no real point in doing that. I'm just going to farm up a bunch to get to this body slam, force them to make a decision here. Most just let it go. And now, even though you've dumped all your energy, you have all your Slowking energy, you have energy here for if they come back in here. So I go for the Fairy Wind, thinking they go for a little water gun, but they do not. So now I'm actually gonna have to shield just because I have 2 body slams and I want to force shields back or take them out, because either it was a good situation. So they end up shielding, right? So I got 1 shield back. I'm still gonna do chip damage here. They can farm me down. I think coming Slowking just to absorb the damage here is the play, because they get Surf and Sludge. No, what am I doing? Because don't they have Sludges their second? I think, or unless I'm just gonna farm down here, try and farm down. I was gonna say you could have lived to Surf, but these water guns do add up, so maybe that's why in the moment I thought about it. Once I get this off, it's over. Malamar, I'm not seeing a ton of Bruck just because it's honestly quite bad, unless you get it in good situations. But here is one of the worst situations because of foul play. Like, those bites are doing freaking nothing, and this foul play is gonna one-shot this thing. And Malamars are everywhere, so that's why I'm not seeing many Brucks-ish in this range. Malamar is a tough lead, so you got to get out. So I go into this matchup. The problem is there usually have an answer here. That was fast, so that's probably just Surf. Now the question is, do I bait or do I go high horsepower, and what happens here? Because I played, I want to see what they do here. Okay, so they do shield. So the issue now with Rapidash is, I would say 90% of Rapidash are now running high horsepower instead of Mega Horn. Again, Mega Horn is great because you can one-shot Malamar and in the mirror match with Rapidash, but outside of that, having a high horsepower that can one-shot the Slowkings and the Galarian Slowbro is much better. So I'd say like 90% are running it now. So the thing is, like, a lot of them, as you just saw there, are actually shielding the high horsepower anyways. So it becomes, with Rapidash, a tricky bait game of, because if you bait body slam and they let it go, you're a huge advantage. But if they now shield, like they just did, I am now going to get to my high horsepower and grab a second shield, which will put me in a pretty good advantage in this matchup. So they know it was probably coming that I baited once. So again, they double shield because they know high horsepower does one shot here. I have 2 shields. I'm going to see if I shield. I probably will. Yeah, Shadow Ball does about 50%. There's no point of really taking that when I can take this out and still have a shield advantage. Just keep my Malamar healthy. Not quite, but now the Psycho Cuts take it down. We'll see what they have left. They have a Rapidash. I'm just coming in here because I know that this is a pretty good matchup, unless they have high horsepower, and they will outpace here. That seemed fast, but I don't know. I guess not. It only takes like 6 to get to, and now they come Malamar. Right, so Malamar is going to have its way with me here because the foul play will take me out. Now, I think they're going to have to throw. Will it take me out, or will I get a Surf off? I will get a Surf off or force them to throw here. I think what I was doing there is, I think my lose condition, I may lose this anyways, but I think my real lose condition was having their Galarian Rapidash come in, farm 1 or 2 on my thing, and then have a move coming out for this. They do foul play here, which is unfortunate. I think my win condition is a Hyper Beam though. So I'm basically just, 1 foul play won't take me out. I think they're dry on energy. 1 foul play takes them out, and now I just need to outpace to the Hyper Beam, and I do outpace the Hyper Beam for the win, right? So if I let that, if I threw my move, they would have came and farmed me down and then come out with energy to win. But now I recognize my win condition here. So again, Malamar, tough lead. I'll play this exact same, and again, out comes the Slowking. This one I bait as well. Let's hope I didn't run the same battle back to back here. No, there's your this is where it gets tough, right? There's your problem. Some don't shield. And now you are at a significant disadvantage. So maybe it's okay. It's better to go straight high horsepower, but then it gets like really tough in that matchup. So you really want to determine what you want to do there. Malamar comes back in, so I am just going to chip this because then again, it's probably going to be within just foul play range for mine. They are loading up there and they're going to throw right before properly. So smart not shield, smart energy management here. So this is, we'll have to see what they have left. Shield advantage is good for them. I'm going to get this off because this will force a shield immediately because they have energy and they have a shield advantage. So I expect a shield. If they have Hyper Beam, I'm assuming they're going to go straight Hyper Beam. That's why they're shielding. They just foul play. Again, one foul play, one Hyper Beam does not take you out. They still need a foul play. As you see here, because I have like full health, 2 foul plays are not going to take me out. So they're going to need to land a Hyper Beam there or 2 more foul plays. I'm just chipping here. If they have high horsepower, I'm going to be taken out, and then I'll probably lose this matchup. If they don't have high horsepower, I maybe have a shot. So they do take me out. They're going to have energy. They're going to take me out here. Yeah. And that's, again, it's pretty hard counter there, right? I had Malamar, my Slowking. I had Malamar, my Slowking. Galarian Rapidash on my Malamar, and a slow King or Slowbro on my Rapidash, right? So it's basically as pretty hard counter as you can get. So not much we can do there. This is a good lead. Again, high horsepower dependent, and that's why these matchups get quite tricky, because like if you're at high horsepower, it's going to pretty much one-shot me, so I have to shield. But if you just throw a body slam, now I'm at a huge disadvantage, and they now catch on to Malamar. So this is all sorts of bad to start. Probably come G, yeah. Again, they're not going to get to a... I don't think they can get to a Hyper Beam before I take them out here, although Body Slam probably won't take out from this range. Yeah, I'm going to end up CMPing here because I assume they're going for the Hyper Beam, and I can't, and they're going to shield to get it off. Or they're going to go down with a ton of energy, which is interesting because Malamar was loaded there. Like 2 foul plays would have taken me out. They're coming to Victini. I'm going to, again, bait because 2 Body Slams takes out. So worst case scenario, I can just go back-to-back Body Slams. Best case scenario, they shield, and I still get one off to put it within either 1 foul play range or Hex and Surf range. Both are good options, right? So that's why at times it is better just to bait with Rapidash there. I'll probably come back in Slowking. Recreate's going to hurt. You can live this, so I don't need to shield. Galarian Rapidash comes in. I'm just going straight Surf because between the Surf and the Hex, I should be able to take this out. Unless, I mean, they're going to throw here. But now my win condition is they're dry on energy. My win condition is just Psycho Cut down all the way, come out basically with like a move and a half. I can, unless it's a high horsepower Meghorn. Well, I think I just shielded because I know they're so far from a V-Create. They need 5 and I'm like 2 away from a second foul play. So I think that I'm just going to win anyways. Yeah. Okay, Malamar again, bad lead, so we will get out of here and go into a Rapidash. There again, a little slow. Again, I'm baiting because now 90% Rapidash run high horsepower, so this would one-shot, and they respect it. So now I can probably shield here. I don't need to shield. I could just come to, yeah, maybe we're going to let it go. Because I can come, the thing with this meta, if you have made it this far in the video and you are either going to play this next week or the rest of the day. This league is won or lost based on shield advantage and energy advantage. Switch, unless you get hard countered like I did on the first on my loss there, unless you're hard countered, it really comes down to energy management, switch energy management, shield advantage here, and CMP quite in a lot of situations, right? Or knowing CMP and stuff like that. So I just lost CMP here, which is unfortunate. Again, I have a 0-14-8 Malamar, which is good generally, but not good when you're only seeing 10 Pokemon and one of them is Malamar 90% of the time, right? So that is unfortunate. I do take it out here. They have a Victini. Yeah, the problem is one foul play doesn't take out. We've gone over this matchup before in reverse. It does like 90%. So they could let this go. But once I get this off, I've basically found my win condition because they need to shield. They need to V-create. And then I can just like basically hex down. There's no point in double shielding here. I mean, I could double shield, but save the shield for this. And then they recognize it too. And now it is just a fast move trade-off here. And I will take that matchup. So Galarian Slowbro, that's a bad matchup for them. They come in Crest, and I remember this. I'm just like, whoa, you don't see many Cresses. What is my best answer for this? And I'm like, I guess this. So I'm like, okay, let's do this. I'm like, good, that does a lot. It's probably in Surf. And then I'm like, crap, this could be Future Sight because it's probably running Future Sight instead of, yeah, I'm like, that makes sense. So I'm like, okay, let's get to the Surf here. Take it out. It's already in the red. But nope, Crest is Crest. So it lives with 1 HP. Gets a couple HP because it lives that Hex too and gets off another Future Sight. So this is not a good situation for me. Down a shield and down a ton of health here. So they're going to come in with, what do they have on the lead? They come with Malamar. I'll get out immediately. Or throw a Shadow Ball. And then get out. What am I going to do here? What do they have on the lead? I guess I'm staying in and just going to chip with Surf because I want to get this within Fairy Wind Body Slam range. It's not a terrible idea. Because now it's basically in Fairy Wind Body Slam range. The problem is they're going to have... I'm wondering if I'm just going to sacrifice this. Let them throw 2 foul plays. I was about to say, let them throw 2 foul plays because they were within foul play range for me. This does not quite take out, but it does allow me to find the win condition, and that is just farming down here. They go straight for Sludge. They don't need to do that. I think they could have just gone back-to-back Surfs here. Looks like they can go Surf anyways here. But I think I have to commit to this because my only win condition is getting back-to-back foul plays off here, and I have it. 1 Psycho Cut, resisted by Psychic, resisted by Dark, 2 times resisted by Dark, I think. So Psycho Cut down is not happening even though I'm at like 2 HP. Back-to-back foul plays. Snipe with the Body Slam for the win here. So good work around there. Okay, don't have to deal with this crap anymore. Open Great League begins tomorrow. I will have top teams tomorrow morning. And then we're going to run with a bunch of teams there. For sure, I'm going to run Carbink. I've been grinding XLs like crazy, using a lot of Poffins just to get this thing excited to get the candies. It's not fully powered up, but it's like 1.5 levels short of being fully powered up, but it's best buddied, so now it's like half a level short of being powered up all the way, so that's not bad at all. So I want to use that once. So that's probably coming on Saturday because I really want to use this Friday. So that will come Saturday, and then we'll see what I have. Like I said, I'm borderline. I think the wait times will pick up a bit. Like some of these battles took a while to actually play because the wait times were very, very, very slow. But I'm sure it'll pick up with everyone playing Open Great League now. But it also means like I'm against the best of the best. So you may see some where it's like this team did okay, and okay may be good enough against like top 500 people in this league right now. So that is it. Thanks for keep coming back even though it's the same crap over and over. And that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.